So how many people were exactly eliminated from this chamber?
I would say about 10.
About 10, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know, but the first time the WWE emanated from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois in almost over 30 years at this point. Last one was SummerSlam 1994, main evented by the horrible Undertaker versus Undertaker match. That
But
yeah,
was opened by the excellent steel cage match between Bray and Owen.
mm-hmm.
Very historic show. WWE returns here with Elimination Chamber. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the road to WrestleMania, and the road is very, very, very bumpy. There is a lot of potholes, a lot of unnecessary potholes, and this is usually around the time of year where I start getting excited for Mania. I'm doing my yearly tradition of watching the last 10 WrestleManias every year. And one thing I've realized in these revisits to these Manias is that there was a certain excitement about WrestleMania, and nowadays it just feels like WWE is scrambling to figure out what the fuck they want to do. And
You're
this
right.
show was 100% proof of that. And we were reviewing it 1 week after the fact where things are still unraveling. I will say, even though it is quite jarring and quite scary, it's an interesting road to WrestleMania. I just hope the payoff is worth the chaos.
I, the only thing that WrestleMania 42 can do at this point is surprise me. If it disappoints me, it is what it is. I mean, but we have the same attitude going into WrestleMania 31. I'm not saying that WrestleMania 42 is going to be great. I'm not really that excited for it. It just feels, again, to your point, like WWE is just going through the motions. It really does not feel like WrestleMania season. And it hasn't felt like this mundane road to get there probably since WrestleMania 31. And we
Um,
don't we
I
don't
will
have the added
say
luxury. We don't have the added luxury this time of actually looking forward to being in attendance for this WrestleMania, you know?
I will say, I say this almost every year, it feels like. If WWE wants to surprise me and prove me wrong, by all means, if we come out of WrestleMania 41 or 42, I should say, wait, yeah, 42,
42.
and I say, wow, that show exceeded expectations. Good job, WWE. By all means, make me eat crow. And looking at the current, what, two matches we have right now, it,
Four.
four, yeah, you're right. The world title matches are only set right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not set up to be a horrible WrestleMania. The matches look fine on paper. It's just when you look in a vacuum, it looks fine. But then you kind of take a step back and you realize what they did to get there. It's not very inspired. It feels very panicky.
That I'm sure that's something we're gonna get into. And I'm actually kind of glad that we postponed this podcast until like a week after the fact when certain things happened on WWE television afterwards. And that's something that we can kind of get into on this podcast as well. Uh,
I
but
will say, Elimination Chamber was not a terrible show, in my opinion. I
no,
know a lot of people hated this show.
I don't think
Um,
so.
I feel like people need to remind themselves we've had much worse pay-per-views than this.
It was fine. It was
I
fine.
understand the landscape of WWE pay-per-views is very lacking. We are getting four match cards almost every show. It's majority commercials and video packages and not a whole lot of substance at the end of the day. I am still waiting. I feel like the ESPN era has just been a big bag of duty. And I'm waiting for that one pay per view to just be like, wow, that was the perfect amount of matches, really good quality shit that we got there. But I get to see it. I still don't regret. Sorry, Zach, don't regret not going to Survivor Series because that
Yeah.
show just felt like a. I'm not saying your experience was, just the show just felt like a huge waste of time.
It was one, as I said, it was one of the Survivor Series of all time. And I'm
Yeah,
glad that I could say that I was in attendance for a Survivor Series, but other than being in attendance for John Cena's last pay-per-view match, it was, it felt very much like WWE was trying to crank out as many stars as they could and have everybody sing their entrance songs. But the stories just don't feel as fleshed
organic.
out as they were even 2 to 3 years ago.
There are stories going into WrestleMania that we're definitely going to go into that are staring WWE right in the fucking face, and they're not capitalizing on them. Like I said, we're still what? 6 weeks away from WrestleMania. There is definitely time to turn it around, but there are certain elements that people are predicting. And I'm going to say this now. If those elements do not get introduced by this Monday or Friday, can the whole thing. I know you had a prediction of the Usos defending the tag team titles against the Hardy Boys. I'll tell you this right now. If Matt and Jeff don't fucking show up on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, it ain't happening.
It's a pipe dream at this point. So, but we get into this United Center in Chicago. I'm sure CM Punk was eating a big box of Mindy's muffins, in the backstage area because they were in his hometown. Uh, I mean, 4 matches on this card, 2 chamber matches to get into. And the Elimination
And
Chamber has been a staple of pretty much
a
our
big
entire
old
fandom. So,
Yeah, they made the debut of the Elimination Chamber, what, a good 7 months after I started watching wrestling. I remember the first chamber. I didn't see it live, but I think as of now, I have witnessed or experienced every single Elimination Chamber match.
yeah,
Um, I heard some people say that the Elimination Chamber is starting to feel like a formality. It's kind of like war games. They're just doing it just to do it. I'm going to disagree to an extent. I do like that the Chamber is being used as a tool to determine number one contenders for the title. The wrestlers who don't win the Royal Rumble get to go for, like the unclaimed championship, because I would say winning the Elimination Chamber should be just as difficult as winning the Royal Rumble. So if you're
yes.
able to win this match, you have definitely earned that world title shot. So I don't mind the chamber being used as a staple in the road to WrestleMania. It's a
Hmm.
lot different than, oh, it's fall time. You got to put 5 guys together and throw them in war games. It doesn't feel as important there. The chamber, I don't want to say has kind of lost its luster for no, let me say it this way. The chamber has always been used for a tool to either crown a champion or determine a number one contender. They've never just done an elimination chamber match just to do one. It
Yeah.
has its place, it has its role. So I don't mind the time and the placing of the elimination chamber. What I do mind is the winner needs to fucking matter. The winner needs to be the undisputed challenger for the championship. And that is a
Yeah.
big steaming scoop of foreshadowing going into this pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the same time, like both winners are the undisputed challenger going into WrestleMania. There's no arguing that they are the challenger. And we'll get into that, I'm sure, by the end of this. But we start off with a very interesting lineup for this first of 2 chamber matches, don't we?
We do. We are opening up with the women's elimination chamber match, and the winner will face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania for the WWE Women's Championship. We
Yeah.
have Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, the underdog of the chamber, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. I thought this was a very fun lineup.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like every chamber needs that underdog. So a lot of people were kind of shocked that Kiana James went over Charlotte Flair and who else to qualify?
Oh, God. No, it was Nia Jax.
Yeah,
Nia
so
Jax. And it was a very creative pinfall by Kiana James because Charlotte had Nia in the figure 8 and Kiana James like traps Charlotte in a pinfall position and she actually pins the queen to qualify, which I
it
think
kind of
is
reminds me
awesome.
of when El Grande Americano beat CM Punk and AJ Styles to qualify for Money in the Bank this past year. It's
Yes.
kind of getting to a point where the underdog trope is so obvious that going into that match, I was like, no, guys, Americano's going to win. They are definitely going to put him over as the underdog. And I didn't see this match, but I definitely felt like it, the senses would have been tingling to be like, I think Kiana James is going to be the one to go in.
Yeah.
And props to Kiana James. I feel like ever since the Royal Rumble, this girl has shown she has something. And she was very impressive in this chamber match.
She was, and she started off with Tiffany Stratton, who, again, I feel like WWE is pushing into a nice position on the card. She doesn't have a clear direction right now for Mania. Spoiler alert, if she does not win this chamber match, it probably wouldn't have been as interesting if it was Cargill against Stratton again for the belt. But they're wrestling along. They're having a nice little match, and in the number three position, which I should remind you is worn by strong safety Nikki Manwuri of the reigning and defending undisputed Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. By the way, uh,
Enjoy it while it
yeah,
lasts.
Asuka comes in. And she is attacked in the pod by Kiana James. Asuka, goes for a fiery comeback, and she is still very popular with these people. She's never won at WrestleMania, which is a fact that Tomas brought upon me, and it made me very depressed because Asuka is much better than that. Yeah, so the thing about these chamber matches now is they're saying that they're coming out of the pods in equally timed intervals. So they're not exactly like, oh, the first what's it called? The first interval is like 5 minutes, and then it just felt like they were releasing people from their pods whenever it was convenient.
I feel like,
That's
yeah,
what it
the
felt like to me.
established quote unquote rules are for the first interval, it's 5 minutes. And then after that, it's every 2 minutes. But
I
like
thought
the
it
Royal Rumble, it just feels like if the match is starting to lose momentum, let's release another girl into the chamber.
I
And I
thought it was
believe number
always five
three
minutes.
was number three Raquel Rodriguez,
No, Asuka was number three.
or no, number four, I should say.
Alexa Bliss came out at four.
Alexa
Um,
Bliss.
mhm.
Very interesting to see what the path her and Charlotte Flair are going to go into WrestleMania.
They got to wrestle one
Um,
on one, I think.
Again, this is one of those instances. The build needs to start right now if they plan on doing that.
Yeah.
Like right
Yeah.
fucking now.
Because they're not
Fun
going to have.
facts. We're talking about WrestleMania fun facts.
Yeah.
If Charlotte Flair gets a match this year, this will be the first WrestleMania in which she is not wrestling for a world championship.
If Charlotte Flair gets the match. No, Charlotte's going to have a match at WrestleMania. Come on. Come on.
WWE is making me very nervous right now with the amount of stars they have, and it feels like a lot of them do not have directions.
Let's not be silly, though. Out comes the crowd favorite Rhea Ripley at number five. Everybody loves Rhea Ripley. I think you'd be silly if you didn't. Um, there is a very quick, shocking elimination, really building up Kiana James as the underdog. A roll up on Alexa Bliss to eliminate her, and she's the first one out, which I thought was kind of surprising. Uh, but hey, if you want to put over Kiana James as a new star, hey, that is fine by me.
I will say,
I've been all about pushing the youth movement in WWE, and if you want to push Kiana James as one of those, then fine.
it's a little contradictory to what I just said, but find it kind of ironic that Kiana James is here getting the big push when she is the manager of the Women's United States champion Julia, who feels like is just treading water and who should definitely be a
Yeah.
bigger star than she is. If the direction
Yeah.
looks like I think it's going, we might be headed towards a four-way tag match at WrestleMania between Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, who did win the tag team titles, mind you, uh,
Forgot about that.
Kabuki Warriors, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, and Kiana James and Julia. It could be headed in some sort of that direction.
Even though Julia already holds the title,
Yeah, has that ever really stopped WWE in the past?
it hasn't. But if they want to really build up this prestige of the women's US title to be even remotely close to how prestigious the women's Intercontinental title feels, they need to get the fuck on that. You know?
Wow, if only there was a very over strong woman on SmackDown that could benefit from a match at WrestleMania. Does her name rhyme with Gordon Drace?
You couldn't have made that any more obvious. But out at
Yeah, that is the
out in
point.
Raquel Rodriguez is in the final position, and some people are theorizing that Raquel could win this and insert herself into the triple threat instead with Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. And I'm like, you really gotta stretch it if you're gonna take away a one-on-one earned title shot from Liv Morgan, who won the fucking Royal Rumble. So it's
Yeah, it's kind of like shitting on earned championship matches is kind of frowned upon. Foreshadowing.
yeah, I know,
Um,
right?
I also had a lot of people theorizing it should have been JD Cargill and Raquel Rodriguez, which isn't a bad idea. I just feel like the story is more leaning towards Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan having their implosion if we get like a Shawn Michaels Diesel type situation. Because
Raquel
clearly that's what they've been building them as on TV. female Shawn
Yes.
Michaels and Diesel.
And Raquel was clearly the MVP of this match. She does a
Oh,
power
she was.
slam on Kiana James through a pod, which makes her look like a freaking monster. And then she hits a Tahana bomb on Asuka, and she stacks both those ladies up and pins them like she's Roman Reigns. Like I think it's awesome to see like the evolution. If I can name one pro right now in terms of the storytelling, seeing Raquel Rodriguez go from just being the smiley, plucky babyface whose gimmick was her shoulders into this dominant powerhouse. I think that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I've
I think
also
that's
saw
great.
people complaining how she stacked people in the chamber. Why? That's called dominance. I
Yeah.
will say, even though we live in an age where it's nice to see like the smaller wrestlers get taken seriously, how in-ring work kind of precedes everything else. But I feel like there is a lost art of the big person, the monster, the dominant, giant. And
Yeah.
these are characteristics. Yeah, if you're over 6 foot tall and you're a big hulking beast, you should be stacking people. What did people used to say back in the day? Oh, when Big Show won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Yeah, Big Show won the Battle Royal. He's fucking 7 foot tall and 400 pounds. He should be winning all the Battle Royals.
How
There is
can
an art to having a big wrestler be dominant.
and
Obafemi.
meanwhile the commentators are like, how can anybody eliminate the Big Show? He weighs 10,000 pounds. Like just that's really how you push it. And you know how else you push dominance? When the other remaining people in a multi-person elimination match like this team up to take out the dominant one.
Yes.
That's what Rhea
Yes.
Ripley and Tiffany Stratton did. Tiffany ended up pinning Raquel after hitting the PME on her, and we're down to Rhea Ripley and
Which,
Tiffany Stratton.
by the way,
Yeah,
I'm so fine with. I don't think Raquel Rodriguez was the correct choice here. She has a
no,
story going on Raw, and this is such a big thing, and I'm scared Triple H is adapting it. If you're going to tease a breakup, if you're going to tease tension, don't tease it and then just totally cut it off, and then either prolong it too long or never go back to it. You know what's a really good example of that?
Cody Rhodes and
Bailey and
Randy Orton.
Sasha. No, say wow, I almost thought to finish. Sasha Banks and Bailey's tension in 2018. They teased that breakup for months, or should I
And
say 2017? They teased it for months,
it just
and you know
never
what ended up
happened.
happening? It never happened, and they won the fucking tag titles together.
Yep, that's the Boston Hug connection. I remember. I remember.
So don't. I mean, if you're gonna tease tension, go through with it.
Hmm.
Just go through with it. And I feel like Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan are in a very good path to that tension. You don't interrupt it by moving Raquel Rodriguez to the other show and have her challenge for the other championship.
Yeah,
I do think she's going to find her way into that Raw Women's title match. I do think.
you
And
think
if she
so?
doesn't, she's going to purposely cost Liv Morgan the match.
Yeah. Yeah, because I like a lot of those world title matches that I'm seeing, there's a lot more likeliness, I think, in the majority of the champions retaining in these matches than new champions being crowned, but I've seen crazier things happen. I don't like predicting things anymore because it's like I never know what I'm gonna get in wrestling nowadays. Like John Cena turning heel last year at the Chamber. I never thought I was
Yeah,
gonna get that.
that was a
Um,
year ago.
so
There was another point about, yeah, I just definitely think this has to lead somewhere. And I think either Raquel Rodriguez and oh no, here's the other theory I've been hearing. There's a gauntlet match coming up on Monday, and the winner of it gets a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. A lot of
mhm.
people are picking Raquel Rodriguez, and I say no, she needs to
No,
be directly involved with this world title match in some way, shape, or form. You don't solve this issue by putting the Intercontinental Championship on her, and then
no.
her and Liv Morgan are stronger than ever. Because if you do that, again, why even tease the tension?
Yeah,
When you tease tension, you need to follow through with it.
exactly.
And if they were
Exactly.
going to go some sort of path, then this needed to be earlier in the year, not so close to WrestleMania.
Yeah. So it's down to Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton, which is I mean, that's a match and a half on paper. Like, I want to see those two go at it one on one in a regular match for 20 minutes. Like, give me that. Because what we got in the chamber between these two, I thought was excellent. Tiffany goes for the PME. Rhea Ripley then shoves her into a pod. It like cracks her in the ribs, hits a riptide, and then Rhea Ripley gets the 3 count, and she's going to Mania.
Definitely, not, I don't want to say I was shocked by this, but it kind of wasn't on my radar. I mean, this is a match we've never gotten before. I know people
Nope.
were very much holding on to hope that Bianca Belair would come back and get her match with Jade Cargill. Unfortunately, Bianca Belair just had another finger surgery, and by Mania, she's going to be out for an entire year. Um, I think that's a story we can always go back to. It's not really going anywhere. But since we don't have Bianca Belair, I think Rhea Ripley is the next best thing.
Yeah.
I am very much looking forward to this match. I think these two could pull something out of each other and make it. Rhea Ripley is really good at WrestleMania one-on-one matches. Her match with Charlotte Flair, her match with Becky Lynch was really good. The triple threat match last year was excellent. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
this, and you know what I like the most
What's
on
that?
Raw. Rhea Ripley said, "Io Sky, hold down the fort. I'm going to SmackDown to handle my business. Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
keep
Thank
her on
you. Thank
SmackDown.
you.
Yep.
Keep her
Just
on
keep her
SmackDown
there.
for the build. She won this match for the SmackDown Championship. She needs to go there. You know, I will give Randy Orton credit. I think he did something similar. He went over to SmackDown for a month to be in a feud. And I'm like, okay, if you're gonna insist on doing this, they need to be a part of that
He
brand.
no, what happened was is after SummerSlam, what happened was he went over to have a match against Gunther in Germany for the World Heavyweight title, and he
Thank
was
you.
like,
Yes.
yeah, no, he was a SmackDown guy, and he was like, okay, I need redemption against Gunther because that was the infamous, the
King of the
controversial
Ring.
pin, yeah, that helped Gunther win King of the Ring. So and Randy was like, hey, you know damn well that if if there was no controversy in our match, you would not be the champion right now, you
Oh
know?
yeah.
So
So I do like the consistency there. That is great. Overall, I really enjoyed this women's chamber match.
I did
This was
too.
better than a lot of women's chamber matches we've gotten over the years. I
It
think this
was
was
it
the
was
most
gonna
consistent.
it was gonna be very hard to top how chaotic last year's was. Like
Yeah.
with
Oh
Jade
yeah, yeah,
Cargill
yeah.
coming back and beating the snot out of Naomi before the match even begins, and just how well thought out that match was in general. Like,
Bianca Belair fighting through the emotional trauma of that and still winning the match was really good. I thought this was
yes,
very strong too. This set a lot of storylines into place. I'm going to give it 3 3/4 stars.
me too.
Definitely
Me
the
too.
better of the two chamber matches tonight.
Yes. Oh, far and away the better chamber match of the two, I thought. And I do I, tr and Cargill and Ripley is an interesting hoss fight, I think. Uh, do I trust that it's going to be a great match? I don't know. Because
It's very on the fence right now. I hope
Listen,
it surprises me.
Rhea Ripley is awesome, but I have yet to see a truly great Jade Cargill match. And I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like if Asuka couldn't do it with Jade Cargill, who's to say Rhea Ripley can do it? But
That's a very fair point. I feel like the
yeah,
strongest matches we've seen out of Jade Cargill is when she was teaming with Bianca Belair because her and Bianca Belair had excellent chemistry together.
yep.
Yeah, we have yet to
Well,
see
and Jade
that.
Cargill wasn't in the ring the entire time either, so she
Yeah,
wasn't overexposed.
we've yet
So
to see that banger from Jade Cargill. I have hopes though.
I,
I am gonna give this match the benefit of the doubt, and I hope it is good.
yeah. Well, speaking of matches that I hope are good involving the ladies, this is a feud that's been being built up for months and months. We thought we were going to get this one-on-one match at WrestleMania, but it makes sense why we got it here. It's for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Delusional, big-time Becky Lynch defending against AJ Lee, who is not originally from Chicago. She was announced from God, what the fuck is that city she's from? Elmwood Park, New Jersey, I think.
Yes.
No, that's Liv Morgan is who I'm thinking of. I get it mixed up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, New Jersey people. I get it mixed up. But yeah, so these two have been feuding basically ever since AJ made her glorious return in the same city. And it's kind of her adopted hometown because, her husband is CM Punk. But here we go. It's a title match now. Becky Lynch is constantly complaining about the authority of Adam Pearce, constantly complaining about the crookedness of referee Jessica Carr. And it's a very, like, her Twitter feed is very reminiscent of a certain someone who is very famous, and it is very much a
Well,
parody of that.
here's
Uh,
the thing you need to understand. Becky Lynch is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And it's not just her saying it. Sports Illustrated said it too.
yeah, yeah, but where? Where Sports Illustrated said that?
Sports Illustrated, they
It's
said it.
it's
And
fake. It's fake journalism.
but remember, it's not just her. It's not just her saying this. I will say this match started off a little wonky. It felt like AJ was trying to get the wheel spinning. Remember, this is AJ Lee's first one-on-one match in what, 11, 12 years?
Yeah, since before WrestleMania 31, because
Wade Barrett made a very, very interesting fact. Wade Barrett had a singles match way sooner than the last time AJ Lee had a singles match.
it's and it's crazy to think that both of these women are the same age, even though they're
Yeah.
basically from different generations, so to speak. Because Becky Lynch wasn't called up to the main roster until after AJ Lee retired for the first time. Uh, but we're continuing the story here of Becky Lynch having beef with referee Jessica Carr. Because there's a point where Lynch exposes the top turnbuckle. She goes to send AJ Lee into it, and referee Jessica Carr stops her, and she's like, you're not getting away with it this time. And I'm like,
Well,
so
not trying to play devil's
all of a
advocate
sudden the
here.
referee cares.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna say not to play devil's advocate here, but Becky Lynch kind of has a point because the referee usually kind of, turns a blind eye when it comes to stuff like the turnbuckle being exposed, a thumb to the eye, a kick to the groin, or stuff like that. I'm not saying Jessica Carr really has it out for Becky Lynch, but kind of weird the inconsistencies there.
yeah, yeah. So Becky Lynch accidentally kicks referee Jessica Carr in the back of the head. So there's a ref bump. AJ Lee locks in the Black Widow, and you get the visual tap out of Becky Lynch without the referee seeing it.
Oh,
And
Becky Lynch tapped out like she was Gunther. She was smacking AJ Lee's ass. And
yeah,
Gunther and Becky Lynch, that's my question to you. If you can tap anywhere, the ground, the arm, the back, you directly went for the ass. And
I
I
know.
want to know
Yeah.
why.
Well, I
I
mean,
just feel like
sir,
they're really good friends in real life, and that was a rib. Like, I
yeah.
can tap her, I'm going to grab that ass.
Well, sir,
Same with AJ Styles.
well,
Gunther had a big handful of his ass.
I mean, it's better than certain other people just depressingly tapping out on Gunther's forearm. You know what I mean? Just with a
Reluctantly, you should say.
with a
Um,
smile on his face and just sacrificing himself like he's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, instead could you imagine John Cena tapping on Gunther's ass as
that
retirement
would have been
match?
funny. That would have been
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I
but
will
it would have
say
taken away from the moment.
this third act of the match, it really started picking up for me. I think AJ
Yes.
Lee has shaken off the ring rust. I will say though, I understand she kind of like revolutionized the generation. Still don't think AJ Lee's the greatest wrestler on her own accord. She is definitely fine.
I'd
She
take
showed a lot of promise in this match though.
I would easily take her over the Bella Twins
Oh, 1000%.
any day of the week.
1,000,000%.
She is miles better than the Ring and than the Bellas, for
I
sure.
still have a good general interest of what AJ Lee can do in this current climate of women's wrestling. Which, however, with the Bellas, I have no interest whatsoever.
Yes, there's a steel chair introduced. Becky Lynch hits a DDT on AJ Lee on the steel chair, and she tosses it out. And she gets rid of the evidence. Jessica Carr is coming too because she has to be a professional, even though she doesn't like Becky Lynch. Lynch hits the manhandle slam, and there's a 2 count. And Lynch is despondent over this. She is beside herself. Do your job. Sports Illustrated is saying you're not doing your job, and I don't know.
I mean, I
Something
think
like
they are
that.
actually. I think they are actually. Sports
Jessica
Illustrated,
Carr,
they got Becky Lynch's back.
yeah. So Jessica Carr then gets in the way of Becky Lynch sending AJ Lee into the exposed steel turnbuckle, I think for the second time in the match, which leaves way for AJ to send Becky into the exposed steel, which Jessica Carr looks at and is kind of like, meh,
Yeah. Oh yeah, she kind
biased
of just allows it to
officiating.
happen.
Poor ass
Have you ever seen
officiating.
someone actually get disqualified for using an exposed ring or
Never.
turnbuckle? No.
Never. Not
So
once.
how come the referees have to drop what they're doing and put the turnbuckle pad back on?
Beats me, dude. Beats me. But AJ Lee locks in the Black Widow one more time. And this time, Jessica Carr sees Becky Lynch tapping AJ Lee's ass to submit. And we have a new champion, AJ Lee, in her first one-on-one match since 2015, winning a championship. What the heck is life? You know? It's
I
like,
was actually very surprised by this outcome. It's
I
not that I
wasn't.
didn't
I wasn't.
expect it per se.
Yeah.
Just to pull the trigger on AJ Lee is pretty cool. Now a lot of people are asking, what next? Do we get a rematch at Mania? Does AJ Lee go on to an entirely different opponent? Do
Well,
we get
no.
Becky
No.
Lynch versus Jessica Carr?
Becky's not in the gauntlet, which is interesting. Like,
We might be getting Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, and I'm not necessarily against that. I know some people are, and I only have one thing to say to those people.
why not?
Once upon a time, in a land called WCW, Charles Robinson wrestled Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
That's
Macho
right.
Man Randy Savage punctured his lung because he didn't tell Charles Robinson how to properly take the elbow.
Yeah. I guarantee you, if Tony Khan had any sense of balls, he would have booked Chris Jericho versus Aubrey Edwards because of their feud that was going on, and Aubrey Edwards would have beaten Chris Jericho. Like, but
Now,
you can't win
you
them
know
all.
me, I'm all for a good underdog story. And Jessica Carr is very much beloved in the WWE. Again, you have to start the build no later than Monday. If
She
they're going to
was,
do it and if
yeah.
they can book it very well, I'm for it.
Yeah, and she's beloved. She was Adam Copeland's basically handpicked referee for his last WWE run.
Yeah,
She revved basically every single one of his matches. So she's respected, definitely. And
she's
if
the
this
first full-time female ref in WWE, which is a huge accolade for her.
if the story
Now,
allows for it, then yeah, I'm for Becky Lynch versus Jessica Carr, kind of in a novelty match. I'm down.
in the case of AJ Lee, okay, it's a very easy fix, and I really can't believe not a lot of other people are seeing it this way. AJ Lee versus Io Sky at
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
yeah,
Io
give me that.
Sky
Give me that.
is in the gauntlet. Io Sky doesn't really have anything going on. Io Sky is the best fucking female wrestler on the roster. People are
In the
clamoring
world.
for Io Sky to get a match at WrestleMania. It's right there. I keep seeing theories like, oh, do Raquel Rodriguez versus AJ Lee? Like,
No.
no, you don't. You again, that's diverting from what Raquel Rodriguez actually should be doing, and that's just going to prolong it. Io
It's
Sky is. I've seen suggestions of, oh, Io Sky should find her way to SmackDown and face Julia. No,
no.
her
No.
and Rhea Ripley had a very emotional parting on Monday Night Raw, and Rhea Ripley said, "You stay here. I'm gonna go handle business on SmackDown." Oh well, Io Sky can just show up on SmackDown and help Rhea Ripley and get him. No, stop.
No.
It's not. It doesn't need to be that convoluted.
I don't want to
Io Sky's
see
in a gauntlet.
Yeah, I don't want to see Io Sky and Rhea Ripley interacting together again for at least a year
No,
after how
no.
emotional that segment was. Like it, and that would dictate that Rhea Ripley wins the belt at WrestleMania, which again, I'm not opposed to. Uh,
The solution is right there. Io Sky's in a gauntlet. She wins the gauntlet. She faces AJ Lee. I think that would be an excellent match. I think Io Sky can pull a great match out of AJ Lee. And
yeah,
you know what? You put the Intercontinental title on Io Sky. It's a championship she has yet to hold, and we could finally restore the workhorse ethic to that title.
yeah, yeah. I mean, not that it already has it with Becky Lynch holding down the basically carrying the banner of the Intercontinental Championship three times, essentially having three separate reigns with it. Uh, Yeah, I mean, we shall see where it goes. I thought this was a solid match, though. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. I thought it was, 15 minutes for the time they were given. I thought AJ Lee looks pretty good. Shook off the ring rust. Took her a few minutes to really like kick it into another gear. And Becky's a pro. It's not just her saying it, but WWE Magazine is probably saying it somewhere. Pro Wrestling Illustrated is definitely saying it. Uh,
Three and a
Yeah.
quarter stars for me. It was a bit wonky at times, especially in the beginning, but once they kicked it up a gear, it got really exciting at the end. A
Yeah.
little overbooked, sure, but if it leads into the narrative where both ladies are headed, I'm for it. A little bit of overbooking is okay, but this
Yes.
was teetering on like borderline. Oh, okay, this is a bit much.
Yeah. But up next, let's talk about the best thing on this show. At least in my opinion. I think this was
This
the best match
was
on the show.
a very good match, and
Hmm.
not really a surprise considering who's involved. CM Punk is defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor. This
He
started
got pushed.
a few weeks
He
ago.
got
CM
pushed.
Punk. Okay, actually, let's get into a little more backstory about this.
He
The
got his
Judgment Day.
push.
The Judgment Day has, especially Liv Morgan, has kind of been getting on Finn Balor's case, telling him you kind of been a wallflower in the past year. Dominic
You
Mysterio
think?
is, yeah, Dominic Mysterio is a double champion. We've won the tag team titles. You've been standing in the background playing video games. Where is Finn Balor? What the fuck happened to Finn Balor? So Balor kind of gets motivated by this. He confronts CM Punk, and CM Punk grants him a world championship match in his hometown of Belfast, Ireland. That
I
crowd
think,
was
yeah.
100% on Balor's side. He got his old theme song back, which is awesome to catch your breath. And
Except nobody in the crowd does this with him, and it's so depressing. Like even as I was watching him come out to the ring on this show, like maybe there were a few people like close by, like Brock Lesnar guy was probably doing it, but like the vast majority of people sitting in the United Center that night were not doing the whoa, da
are you sure?
whoa.
Because I could have swore there was a good amount. Like it's kind of a
Not
universal
as
thing now.
not as many as it would have been like 7 years ago. Like
Um, do you think that maybe has to do with the fact that we're kind of teetering on this? We don't know if Finn Balor's a face or not.
he's I don't know. I mean, he is definitely on a collision course with Dominic Mysterio at some point. Uh
So after a very good showing in Belfast, Finn Balor feels the need to keep this fire ignited to get the world championship. He interferes in another CM Punk match the following week, kind of just to make his name known. He tries to get in the Royal Rumble, but the Rumble was filled, brother. Sorry, can't grant you a
yeah,
spot there.
so there's room for two El Grande Americanos, but not room for one Finn Balor.
Apparently not. You gotta sign him quick for that shit, man. It goes pretty fast.
Bullshit.
So that's the basic story going into this. I think Finn Balor even tweeted, "Catch your breath is here to stay." Okay,
Good.
his heel theme wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it had its shelf life, and I'm so glad this needs to be his theme song forever.
Until until
ESPN
until Gunther retires him, right?
ESPN posted a very interesting hype package for this match, set to the song "In Demon Eyes" by Enemy, and it started to perk my attention a little. Those thoughts were immediately snuffed out when I realized Finn Balor's probably not going to win this match, and I don't want to see the Demon King take another
No.
loss.
No. I'd say if it is what I think it's gonna be, and it's gonna be Finn against Dominic in a grudge match at WrestleMania, that's when you bring out the demon.
I have heard some
Definitely.
rumors from Finn Balor himself that he's kind of retired the gimmick. And if people are wondering, oh, it's because they ruined it. No, Finn Balor himself said
It's a
the
lot of
face
paint
paint takes an entire day to
It's a lot
apply.
of work. Never say
And he's,
never, though.
yeah,
Never
he's
say
kind of
never.
getting tired of doing it. But you know what? I have a feeling wrestlers low key do this to throw fans off the scent. Sami Zayn a few years ago said he hated Worlds Apart and he was not going to go back to it. Lo and behold, he went back to it. So I kind of
Even
like when wrestlers do that. So I hope
Chris, do you remember when fans like in the build up to the 2013 Royal Rumble were hounding Chris Jericho on Twitter asking him if he was going to be a surprise entrant and Jericho was like, "Sorry, not gonna not gonna show up." Sure enough, he was number 2 going up against Nick
oh,
Nemeth.
well, you know what's funnier? 2020, going into the Royal Rumble, Edge went out of his way, went on Twitter and said, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but it needs to stop. I'm not coming back. And he
I'm
was in the Royal
not
Rumble.
cleared. I'm
Yeah,
not I will never be cleared. You
that
know?
was honestly, I love when wrestlers do that.
They
So
they
that
it's
might
been
be a
happening
case
for
there.
years.
Maybe Finn
Yeah.
Balor's trying to throw the fans off the scent that, hey, the Demon King's not coming back, but it might. And I think it will.
CM Punk gets an amazing entrance, by the way. He is let out basically So it's the music that would play when the Chicago Bulls would run out in the United Center in the era of Michael Jordan. And he was actually announced to the ring by the iconic Chicago Bulls PA announcer Ray Clay. Which I thought was neat as hell. And he also has gear that is themed after his favorite hockey team, the Chicago Blackhawks.
And would you
Um,
like to talk about what was on his jacket?
it was Larry forever. Oh,
Yeah.
rest in peace,
Um,
Larry. And this is actually the first time we get to talk about this, but he got a new tattoo of like literally like right above where it says straight edge right there. He's got Larry's paw print right there.
and you
And
know what's sad that CM Punk said in an interview recently that he has not gone one day without crying since Larry is gone. So
yeah,
we're
well,
gonna
and
keep the memory of Larry alive. And let me tell you, Larry the dog is the toughest motherfucker in the biz. He took a fucking bump by someone in the elite and
yeah,
fall out.
one of them
He
bucks. One of
he
them
lived to
bucks.
tell the tale until he didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Only dog in history to ever be in WWE, AEW, and UFC locker rooms throughout his tenure. He's a
Yeah.
tough,
And
tough motherfucking
Larry
dog.
is a playable character in WWE 2K26.
That is unbelievable. I
Put
want
the
to play
world
as Larry.
championship on Larry in your GM mode and have him have a longer reign than Roman Reigns.
Jeez, but
And then,
these two
oh
put
my
on
God,
a
I know what I
what?
can do in 2K26. I can
What?
book the first ever dog versus dog match at WrestleMania.
Let me guess. Larry versus Braun Breaker.
No, Larry versus Roman Reigns. Because Roman
Here
Reigns is
comes
the
the big
big
dog.
dog. Can
Fucking
I be real
hell.
for a second? Some
Yeah.
days I kind of lie there and I think, man, I miss the big dog.
Oh, I don't. I don't. I'm so glad Michael Cole doesn't have Vince McMahon yelling in his ear to say that every single night.
It's boss time.
It's boss time. Fuck, you made me remember that. These two had an excellent match.
They
I
did.
don't know if I want to say this was better than the Ireland match on Raw. Probably was on that level. Punk, like these two got physical with each other too. Punk's mouth was busted. They were just throwing haymakers on each other. The only thing that I think is holding this match back, and you alluded to it earlier, it was the predictability. It's absolutely 1000% going to be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. And it's honestly like this match was a formality to get CM Punk on the card in some way. Um, but hey,
I will say there were a couple of times where I was kind of leaning against the ropes, thinking, "Oh my God, does Finn Balor got this?" There was a very, very,
no.
very close near fall after a coup de grace. And you know what? All jokes aside, this match really helped me remember who the fuck Finn Balor is. And Finn Balor, at his age, with his amazing physique, is still one of the best pro wrestlers in the biz right now.
God, Finn Balor is one of those guys that ages like fine wine, huh? You know, it's you don't really like
The
and
joke I made about this match to my friends was, man, I want to look like that when I'm 50 years old. Finn Balor's
Finn Balor's not 50,
abs,
is he?
he's inching towards it. He's up there. Finn Balor, he looks like he's chiseled out of stone.
Yeah, I
And
mean
I don't care
he always has been.
what the fuck I'm doing at that age. If I can look like that, I'll be happy.
How is it that it's been this long? We've been begging for a Finn Balor push and we finally found it. Like it
I don't
took
know.
it took CM Punk to pull that out of his ass. Like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't
Uh,
know, dude.
I just
But
hope this continues because Finn Balor's always been one of my favorites in WWE. We are inching towards his 10-year anniversary on the main roster, and I mean,
yeah,
is it safe to say he never really recovered from that injury
there
when
were
he was
just
supposed to be Universal Champion?
yes. Yeah, and he was supposed to be feuding with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho at the same time. He probably would have been like the top of Chris Jericho's infamous list of Jericho. Uh
He had some moments throughout his career,
he
really good
did.
matches with like Seth Rollins, a low-key underrated feud with Bray Wyatt. He was a part of the Fiend's debut. I mean, some moments sprinkled here and there, like
That fe I'm sorry, that feud with Bray Wyatt was not good. I'm going to disagree with that. I mean,
the
the only cool
matches
thing
were good.
was fucking he pulls out the demon gimmick at SummerSlam, and then the next pay-per-view they have what's called a man-on-man match, which is basically just a fancy way of saying, "Oh, this is a regular ass match."
it was a Vince specialty. During my revisits of these past few WrestleManias, you know, even though Finn Balor wasn't booked in the best light or like was in the main events, man has aura. Watching his match with Lashley at WrestleMania 35, yeah, it was 6 minutes long. Yeah, it should have been on a more prominent spot on the card with more build.
It
But the
was
Demon King,
cinema.
so much fucking aura. And there was a spot in that match where Bobby Lashley speared him through the fucking ropes, which was awesome. And Finn Balor powerbombed him.
Man,
If you
where's
put
sorry, where's Survivor's Riz God to call it cinema? Like,
you know,
seriously.
Finn Balor, he's the complete package. He's right there. It's a shame that they haven't really used him to his full potential. The closest they got to that, ironically, is when they sent him back to NXT in 2020. Turned heel, was gonna win the NXT UK Championship. You can't convince me otherwise. And then the pandemic happened.
Yep. Yep. You also can't convince me that these two don't have excellent chemistry because they absolutely freaking do. The counters that they have were so creative. CM Punk locking in an Anaconda Vice, for example, and Finn Balor rolling through into an inside cradle. I mean, I'm sure I've seen it in like other facets, but I think it's just the way Finn did it. Like it was just something that caught my eye about it. And then
He's so smooth in the ring.
Finn going for a coup de grace and CM Punk smoothly transitioning and countering that into a sharpshooter.
Oh, that was my favorite
That
spot in the
was
match.
that was clean as
Like
fuck. Like,
Balor went for the coup de grace. I saw Punk's foot come up. I thought it was going to go directly into Balor's crotch. And
yeah,
no, Balor caught the foot and Punk rolled into a sharpshooter. And it's crazy what the fans focus on. They're like, oh, that was a sloppy sharpshooter. Did you not just see this him catch Finn Balor in midair and roll into a sharpshooter?
sorry, AEW sickos. Like CM Punk is not washed. Uh, he's as good as he ever has been, I think. And
I will agree to an extent.
this
This
run,
match was proof to me that CM Punk needs the right opponent.
yeah,
I do agree with a lot of fans that say that CM Punk did look very gassed in this match.
I
CM Punk looks gassed in a lot of matches he's in.
well,
He
yeah,
is
he's
trying to
he's
play the stamina game. I don't think Punk is built for stamina anymore. I will say that.
he's pushing closer to 50 than Finn Balor is,
Yeah,
and
Punk's not built for stamina. I've always said I will take this to my grave. Above anything else, CM Punk is a storyteller. He's a
yeah,
Brett. He's a Shawn Michaels. Not saying
yes,
he's not good in the ring. I'm just saying the longer he's in there, the cracks start to show. And especially at this age, props to Punk though. I think he knows his stamina is not the best, but he is a fighting world champion.
yeah. But whether it's in the ring or whether it's on the microphone, there is just something about CM Punk that constantly draws you in.
Yeah.
Like, and Tomas and I have joked many times, and we've quoted a lot of CM Punk's most infamous jabs on the microphone to each other many times. But I mean, that's what he does. That's what he does. He makes it memorable and he draws you in with his words and also with his fancy pro wrestling skills, as he called them. So
Oh yeah.
I think that's why CM Punk is considered by many, not just by himself, but by many others to be the best in the world. So,
The finish though was pretty straightforward. I think
oh yeah,
Finn Balor managed to kick out a one GTS, but then Punk just went into another GTS and put Finn Balor down for the 3 count.
it was
CM
just
Punk
one
retains the world
GTS.
championship.
Yeah.
It's also important to point out that Finn Balor did request that the Judgment Day do not get involved in this match, for he wanted to win the title on his own. There was one point, I think it was after Punk kicked out of the coup de grace, he looked towards the entranceway and he thought about it. I could call
So
down Dirty Dom. I could call down JD McDonough. They could help me out. Balor went against it. He lost like a man. He lost clean. And afterward, we got the handshake, which is just inching more towards that Finn Balor babyface turn. It's
good,
coming.
good. Yeah, put him against Dominic at WrestleMania. Like, I don't care if Finn doesn't like putting on the demon. Like that writes itself. You got to put on the demon to put down that little shithead Dominic Mysterio. Like,
I will give the match 4 stars. It was a
yes,
very good match.
best match on the show for sure.
Yeah, it was
Absolutely.
fun. And you know what? It was predictable, but sometimes that doesn't really take priority. I
Well,
thought
and
this was a very good match. As long as, even if you know where the destination is, as long as, the journey is fun. You could watch your favorite movie over and over and over. You know how it's going to end. Do you still enjoy the journey towards it? Damn right you do. I enjoyed the journey towards this somewhat predictable finish.
And now we're on a collision course to Roman Reigns challenging for the same belt that he called the loser bracket title 2 years ago. Um, challenging
Which
CM Punk. Oh, the irony, you
I'm not
know?
eating crow right now. I'm starting to nibble it. I know I had a lot of strong feelings about this match, but I will say the past two promos segments have been bangers, and it's starting to make me turn about this match.
And I don't, but except I don't think CM Punk needed to bring up Roman Reigns' dead father. Like,
I know I brought that point up to you last week, but people have been convincing me. You know damn well Roman Reigns is going to bring up Larry, and I think
no.
that's going to even. He is. Yes, he is. Telling you right now, Roman Reigns will bring up Larry. If you say that's too far, CM Punk dragged Roman Reigns' father into this. That had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
I
and
think Roman Reigns can bring up CM Punk's dead dog.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he did bring up the fact that hey, you and I said stupid shit in a Disney movie, and
Yeah. What did we
but
say? Some zebras or some stupid shit like that. I was like, whoa, chill out.
except it wasn't stupid shit. It was hilarious shit. Actually, my name is Gene. My name is also Gene.
Can't believe the zebras are fighting in WrestleMania.
I
God
can't
damn it.
believe the Zebros are the night two main event of WrestleMania. That is just mind-boggling to me.
Somebody
But
make that picture, please. Somebody, please.
oh, so somebody already has. Somebody already has. I can tell you that for a fact, for sure.
Hey,
Uh,
speaking of stupid shit, you ready for this next segment?
God, all right. I'm actually gonna go grab my charger real quick, just because I want to make sure that I am okay on juice. I'll let you
All right.
start talking about this bit while I do
Okay,
this.
we'll start to
So.
the build up to this segment that's been given a proper amount of build. So after the Royal Rumble, a mysterious crate started appearing Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown that simply said, "Do not open until February 28th."
Which
And
was
of
the
course,
Elimination Chamber.
that set the whole wrestling world ablaze, wondering who's in the box, who's in the box, who's in the
What's in the
box, who's
box?
in the
What's in the
box,
box? What's in the
or what's
fucking
in the
what's in
box.
the fucking box?
Um, so the speculation started running rampant. Is it Chris Jericho? Is it Triple H coming out of the crate to say, "Welcome to a new era of WWE"? I'm going to say
It
right now, I would
is
have laughed my fucking ass off if that was the case.
well, no, you know what this was giving me reminders of, and I saw the memes on the internet. Do you remember the build to No Way Out 2003 when The
Yes, you were
Undertaker
going to
was
say
gonna
this.
wrestle the Big Show and
I hope
Paul
there's a
Heyman
puppy in the crate.
a puppy? A puppy. And then we never found out what was in that second crate on the go home show to
No,
SmackDown because Taker busts it open and then Big Show attacks him with a choke slam.
I don't think there was
Um,
anything in that crate, but I will say, what was equally as funny? Brother Love coming out of one of those crates.
bring to you a message to forgive the Big Show.
And then nothing will be more depressing than Canyon coming out of one of the crates dressed as Boy George.
Do you really want to hurt me? The
But
Big
no, it
Show's
was none of
really,
those.
really sorry.
So we get to this segment. Um, okay, I'm gonna go on a tangent about something a little off topic because this reminded me of it. I wish the general managers hated each other more. I
Yeah,
really
it,
wish they
it
did.
definitely feels like Pierce and Nick Aldis are like,
They're buddies.
yeah, yeah,
I
it
miss
definitely
the
feels like
days
that.
of when Teddy Long and Eric Bischoff hated each other's guts. I miss the days of when Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff hated each other's guts. I miss the days where Bischoff made a lot of enemies in WWE. I just realized.
I tell me about it.
Hell, I
Tell
even
me
miss the
about it.
days of like Kurt Angle and Paige not even necessarily being on the same page.
No,
See what I did there? It just feels like there's
lame.
no brand rivalry because Nick Aldis and Nick Pierce, Adam Pierce and Nick Aldis are too buddy buddy. Whenever there's a problem, they just call each other up and they come up with a solution together. And low key makes me upset. What's the point of having two general managers if they don't hate each other's guts? I'm sorry, that's what I grew up on, and I just hate them being so buddy buddy. Anywho,
Yeah,
speaking of Aldis and Pierce, they show up together to open up the crate, and they open up the crate, and there's a coffin in the crate. The coffin opens, and we hear, "You have been cursed." And it's
freaking.
the one, the only, the very nice, very evil Danhausen.
And immediately I saw this and I was like, I kind of expected this because I know people were theorizing, oh, is Chris Jericho in the bot? Chris Jericho is not going to have a silly ass gimmick to have his big return to WWE after like almost a decade. Like, this is inherently a mystery crate being delivered to WWE television at the arenas. That is inherently very silly. Danhausen is a very silly gimmick. So I was immediately sitting there and I'm like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. This tracks. But then I'm looking at him and I'm seeing him come out with all these dancers who have the face paint like he does. He gives Michael Cole his jar of teeth, and
Which
Michael
one of
Cole
those
is,
dancers was his wife,
yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
which was really cool.
Good for them. Well, and I'm sure CM Punk had something to do with Danhausen being brought on since he was wearing Danhausen's boots at All Out 2022. So this was his way of returning the favor. Hey, here's an into WWE. But a lot of
So
people. So all right, yeah,
here's
go for
my
it.
okay. This was interesting. So I watched the majority of these pay-per-views with my best friend. My best friend is probably the biggest definition of a casual wrestling fan. He knows a lot about it. He's been watching with me since like 2009, I want to say. Um, he knows a lot about pro wrestling. He doesn't know everything, and I'm the hardcore fan in the friendship. He rarely watches wrestling without me, and I'm kind of the person he goes to when, like, let's say, someone needs to fill in the blanks of a certain feud. He goes to me for that. So Danhausen pops out of this crate, and I know who Danhausen is. I watched
Yeah.
him in Ring of Honor. I
Did
watched
you
him in
mark out?
AEW.
Did you mark out for Danhausen?
No, and I will get into why I did not mark out for him because it was
Okay.
kind of obvious. It was kind of predictable. So Danhausen come out as this crate, and my best friend says, "Who the hell is this?" And I sit there, and I'm usually the one. Like I told him who Powerhouse Hobbs was. I'm the one who explained who AJ Styles was. I was the one who explained what Cody Rhodes has been up to since he left WWE. All that. So I sit there and I go, "This is Danhausen. He he's a weird guy." And then my other friend chimes in and he says he puts curses on people, and I go, yeah, but what's something about Danhausen that will like impress you? Because I remember I would say, oh, AJ Styles, he had a crazy run in Japan. He started the Bullet Club. He wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura.
He's the
uh
best
you
damn
know
wrestler on the planet.
yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs, who was a beast in AEW. Like, I had something to say, but with Danhausen, I was just like, I mean, that doesn't really tell you anything. He puts curses on people.
And
And then I go, he's
and
kind of like broken Matt Hardy, kind of, sort of, not really. And I was
and
like, I struggled. I
and that
struggled to
was
explain
it.
Danhausen.
That was it. Danhausen loved the guy, but he's a comedy act.
He
And
is.
WWE was like building this up for weeks. And I was looking at this guy coming out there, and he's got like the pathetic little like sparklers that popped up every time he put the curse out. And what really drove this home for me was the crowd in Chicago were dead silent for Danhausen coming out. There wasn't necessarily a big pop for him. Maybe there were like a small handful of fans who were recording like from inside the building, which again, what the fuck do you do for a living to be able to be inside the building for Elimination Chamber? But no, they're looking at him like, oh shoot, it's Danhausen. But I guarantee you, like probably 95% of this crowd didn't know who he was. And that's
And,
kind
you
of
know,
what killed this in some ways. And listen, I've heard some people on the internet saying like they were comparing this. They had the gall to compare this to the gobbledygooker debut from Survivor Series 1990, where he just pops out of the egg. And I'm like, I'm not saying it's far-fetched, but I'm also not going to say that this debut was that bad or that
it
horrendous or that
didn't
stupid.
need to be on pay per view.
No,
Did not need to be on pay per view.
no, it did not. But
And then my best friend kind of hit the nail on the head when he said this from someone who doesn't know who Danhausen is. He said 3 weeks of build for some dude wearing clown makeup. And I
yeah,
go, damn, way
okay.
to bury him on arrival.
Okay, the makeup's pretty cool, but aside from that, I mean, he's a comedy act. He puts curses
It's
on people. But
very hard to describe Danhausen to somebody who doesn't know who he is.
yeah, and a lot of people aren't really in on the joke. And I
No,
will I will be the first one to admit, You can even go back in the ZNT wrestling show archives, like, dating like, since his AEW days. I didn't really get the joke. And I am the first one to admit that. I was like, listen, I don't get the appeal of Danhausen. And Tomas was constantly looking at me like, what do you mean? He's very nice, very evil. I mean, he's going to put a curse on you. And
So, okay,
I'm
I
like,
am going to compare this to Broken Matt Hardy. And I think both companies in different ways. Okay, let me explain. So, Broken Matt Hardy made the gimmick famous in TNA, where he went crazy, he grayed his hair, he started deleting people. He had those amazing cinematic matches with Jeff Hardy and, the tag team Apocalypta and,
delete, delete,
Apocalypto,
delete.
and created kind of like a cult following to its crazy antics. And it wasn't just the antics, it was the amazing cinematic, segments and matches Matt Hardy would create. When WWE brought him in, yeah, Ultimate Deletion was fucking awesome. But I feel like Vince thought all Broken Matt Hardy did was say wonderful, say delete, give a round of applause. That's it. And the aura kind of died.
Chair
AEW.
of wheels, mower of lawn.
And
Chair
that's
of
where
wheels.
Broken Matt peaked in Ultimate Deletion. Gonna say that right now.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Danhausen,
great.
I started watching Danhausen in Ring of Honor during the pandemic. And he was just like an ultimate rage baiter. He would say silly things. I got the joke. But in AEW, all they had him do was put curses on people. And it didn't really lead anywhere. He would pop out of
Yeah.
nowhere. He put a curse on you, leave. He
Well,
created silly tag teams with Eric Rowan and Hook called Beardhausen and Hookhausen, which is insane.
he
They didn't use Danhausen
at
to his full
Revolution,
potential.
he was in this four-way tag match, and his partner was Orange Cassidy. You remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Like, and I was sitting there, and I'm like, I don't get this guy. And a lot of it is like, his run in AEW, like him
It
being so
lasts.
limited, it lags.
Very loud.
Well, not necessarily on him though, because a lot of it he actually spent injured. And
Yeah.
Tony Khan signed him anyway, even though he was injured, because he liked Danhausen as a human being, I guess, and he wanted to be nice and give him money.
If
Be very nice, very evil, and give him
if
money.
you want to see Danhausen at his fullest potential, watch his vlog on YouTube.
Yes.
He says the silliest and funniest shit. I'll give you an example. So Danhausen claims he invented the GTS. And he said that CM Punk owed him money for every single time he used the GTS in AEW. So CM Punk pulled out a stack of $100 bills. Danhausen forced him to give him the entire thing, but his debt wasn't collected there. Danhausen then led CM Punk to a comic book stand and forced CM Punk to spend $24,000 in rare comic books to give to Danhausen to pay off his debt. He forced him to buy the first edition of Spider-Man. He forced him to buy the first issue of the Hulk where Wolverine made his first appearance. And yeah, I think that comic alone costs like 20 grand.
And
So
yet in WWE, for some reason, now it's like don't call me a WWE fanboy for taking me this long to get the joke, but Danhausen on Raw has a crumpled up list of demands from GM Adam Pearce. He wants his own blimp.
That wasn't GM Adam Pearce. That was Cold Steve. Obviously, Cold Steve, Stone Cold Steve Austin in disguise. He's wearing the glasses.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin drinking beer housens like all the time.
Yeah.
He has a demand for his own Hall of Fame Hausen induction.
This year. Danhausen is going in this year.
No, he's not. No, he's not. You're so full of it.
Yes, he is. He demanded it. He better get his Hall of Fame induction.
You are so full of it. And he also, the Judgment Day on Raw, they think Danhausen is a joke. He puts a curse on Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio, who happened to be defending the belt that night against Penta. And sure enough, because of Danhausen's curse, Penta becomes the Intercontinental Champion. I mean, I'm like, he's already, the Danhausen seeds are already being planted. And I'm like,
you know what else Danhausen asked for? He asked when he gets to use the Rock. Oh my God, what do you call him? The Rock the Dwayne Johnson. The Rock the Dwayne Johnson's personal gym.
He also demanded that his face be put on the sphere when WWE invades Las Vegas for the second year in a row, which I think is going to be the stuff of nightmares if they actually do put Danhausen's face on the outside of the sphere.
Okay,
Uh,
hear me out. Hear
yeah.
me out. Hear me out. WrestleMania.
Oh
Danhausen
no.
versus The Miz.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. It's like they were kind of building to that on SmackDown because the Miz was looking at Danhausen thinking he was a joke, and you know, it,
So hear me out. Okay. The Miz almost never has anything going on. The Miz is the greatest utility player in WWE. He can be in big storylines, he can be in middle card storylines, he can be in little storylines, he could be a face, he can be a heel, he'll put people over, he can win championships. Whatever you ask The Miz to do, he will make it look like $1 million. I don't think it hurts The Miz in any way, shape, or form to have a feud with Danhausen and lose to the motherfucker clean in his WrestleMania debut.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I would not be opposed to that. You know, it's
So I hope WWE goes through with it because The
yeah,
Miz is doing nothing right now. I'm not saying The Miz has to be doing something. Like he's been around since since the Bush administration. The
yeah.
Miz is a made man for life, and he is the ultimate utility player. And to see
Now,
what Danhausen can do, I cannot think of a better first opponent than The Miz.
now my one ask of Triple H and of WWE, if they're really insistent on like keeping Danhausen on their roster, come up with new jokes, new memes. Because that was the problem with Broken Matt Hardy in 2018. Vince McMahon only saw the delete thing and he saw wonderful and the round of applause during, like when Apollo Crews shows off his athleticism freakishly and Matt Hardy is amazed by that. Like, new jokes, new memes. Don't just have Danhausen come out and say things are very nice, very evil. Like, still have him curse people, because that obviously works in Penta's favor, but
So here's
new
the thing,
jokes.
and
That's
you
all
know
I
why
ask.
Broken Matt worked so well in TNA? Because
Why?
TNA let him take the reins.
Yep.
TNA at that point was like, we have nothing to fucking lose. Let Matt try this shit out. And it worked. And when Matt had full creative control over that character, it worked wonders. Let Danhausen write his own material. Sure, he needs to get it greenlit by the writers, but let him kind of, I'm not saying have free range, but just let him come up with his own shit. And then WWE can handle okay, you're going to interact with so and so this week. You're going to interact with so and so this week. You're going to curse this person this week. But his promos need to be 100% from the mind of Danhausen.
Yes. Yeah. Give him the green light because he's
Man, we
ready
talk a
to go.
lot about Danhausen. And my original
Yeah.
point was just this debut, it was handled very, very poorly.
Yeah.
Extremely poorly.
It was
This should not
stupid.
have been a pay-per-view segment.
Yeah. So, anyway, speaking of things that probably should have been the pay-per-view main event, you want to talk about probably one of the most disappointing Elimination Chamber matches in history?
Oh man, did I put faith in this match because the
It's
players, they were there.
the players are
The
there. It's the
blueprint
men's
was there.
Yeah, the men's elimination chamber match consists of Cody Raheem Rhodes. It consists of Randy Orton. It consists of LA Knight. Yeah. It consists of Trick Williams, Javon Evans, of
Oh,
course.
you mean Trick's
Um,
brother, Javon Williams?
fucking Mark Nash. Oh, this poor motherfucker.
Still
Well,
love
first
him.
of all,
Still love him.
no, I still love him, but please don't explain the rules to the Elimination Chamber match again to me, even though I watched one earlier in the night, and he's like, "Okay, in case you were taking a shit earlier in the night and didn't hear me explain the rules, here they are again." Like,
I will
please
say
don't do
though,
that.
I'm gonna tease Mark Nash, but calling him Javon Williams is still way better than Michael Cole mistaking Javon Evans for Kofi Kingston. That
That's
was
messed
a
up, man.
big yikes.
That's messed
Big
up.
fucking yikes for
Now
Michael
this
Cole.
the last spot in this chamber was originally booked to go to Bronson Reed, but poor motherfucker again injures himself on the road to WrestleMania, tears his bicep during the qualifying match, and instead it goes to Jey Uso. And immediately I'm like, oh God, I'm dreading this now because Jey Uso has to fucking run it back in another gimmick match. I'm like, please end that fucking gimmick of run it back. So what happens is instead they're doing another whodunit angle. Who attacks Jey Uso in the back? Why is he not cleared to compete in the chamber? Who attacked him? Who attacked him?
We
Maybe,
still don't know
yeah,
who
we still
attacked
don't.
Jacob Fatu.
That's it. When you do one whodunit storyline, finish that first before adding another one. Now, listen, I love me a good whodunit, but if you have too many of them going on at once, it's not like you're watching Knives Out and you're
Nope.
watching five different murders being solved in one film
W
because that's way too much, you know?
Triple H loves two things and two things only: who done it and a masked man.
So many fucking masked men, and there is another one that we'll get to,
I
but
swear, Triple H went to Costco and he bought in bulk black boots, black pants, black hoodies, black shirts, and black ski masks.
so the last spot was decided in a match between Logan Paul and Jacob Fatu on the SmackDown the night before, and fucking Logan Paul egregiously defeats the Samoan Werewolf. I don't care that he got help from Drew McIntyre. That is not believable at all. That is not fucking believable.
Would
Jacob
you have rather
Fatu,
Jacob Fatu qualify and not win?
yes, yes, Jacob Fatu would have eaten Logan Paul alive if it were a real fight. Like,
I would. I take this over Jacob Fatu going in the chamber and losing.
I get that the chamber match needed more heels, but I don't
Again,
know. That's a bit
I didn't want
unbelievable.
to see Fatu go in there and lose.
So they start with Javon Evans and Cody Rhodes, and it's good to see that the black population is being represented with two black people starting off this match. I will not stop making that joke. Cody Rhodes ended racism. His middle name is Raheem.
I mean, he said it himself.
Yeah,
I
he
can't
did.
really argue with that.
He was there. He was there when Malcolm X was
He was fighting the good fight.
yeah,
He was
Malcolm
in
X
those
was fighting the
protests.
good fight. Yep. Yeah, he
And
was.
I Have a Dream speech. Cody was there.
Yep, he sure
And don't
was.
forget Edge. Edge was there too.
Cody Raheem Rhodes. Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you're going to talk about Cody Rhodes being there fighting the good fight, I will never not bring up Edge. Because Edge was there too, and people don't like to talk about it, and it's a shame because Edge walked so Cody Rhodes could run.
Are you ready to feel old though?
Yeah, and I know
Eliminate
where you're going with
the
this.
Elimination Chamber match was conceived in 2002. Javon Evans is the first person to be born after the Elimination Chamber match made its debut and to be a participant in the Chamber match. This man
So
is a
you,
fetus.
so you mean to tell me that Javon Evans wasn't even alive when Shawn Michaels won the World Heavyweight Championship
Yep.
for the last time?
Yep. That's
I
all I need
want to
to tell you.
know what fucking era did Javon Evans grow up on? And I just realized it. You said he was born in '04.
2004. Yep.
So this child was probably getting into wrestling during the fucking Authority era. I got to quote Deadlock, my favorite wrestling podcast, and they made a joke a couple years ago saying we're getting into the generation of the kids that grew up watching Sheamus and Del Rio. Sheamus and Del Rio was their fucking Rock and Austin.
And that's Javon Evans.
I,
Javon
I,
Evans.
oh my God,
Oh, I feel
we've
so
gotten to
old,
this
man.
point. We've
I,
gotten to this point.
I feel so old, but I mean, I'd
Yeah.
like to see Cody Rhodes and Javon Evans having a regular one-on-one match at some point. Like, take them out of the chamber. I think those two could pull off a good match together. Out comes Trick Williams in the number 3 spot. He is still very over, even as one of only 2 heels in the match. Everybody loves chanting "Whoop that trick." That guy, you look at his entrance into the chamber and like the revolving Bobby Lashley style podium that he has now. Guy's a star. Guy is a star. Like,
You
if you don't
know,
see that, then I'm
I
sorry.
had a very good idea for him at WrestleMania, and I don't think it's going to happen now, which is insane. He should be fighting Sami Zayn.
Or better yet, him and Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title play into their NXT history. That could be interesting.
Yeah, but it clear as day, they are launching Trick Williams into the main event scene. Look who he's interacting with. His
Yes.
first month in, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes,
He's
three
also
of the
hitting
biggest stars on SmackDown.
he's also hitting some famous Hall of Fame finishers here, hitting the double rock bottom on Cody Rhodes and Javon Evans. That's awesome. I think that's great. I'm saying that just to bug Tomas
No,
here
I
because I
know.
know it's the
No,
bookend. The
no, it's the
bookend.
Uranagi.
It's a bookend
It's the
because
spinning solo.
yeah, book. It's not a fucking spinning solo. Uh, God damn it. Well, I mean, I thought you were gonna say bookend because, like, Trick Williams really is. He really does feel like the next generation of Booker T. Like,
I
just
mean,
in
Booker
terms
T
of
hyped him up all on his own.
what?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I
I
like it.
like it.
Wave your hands from side to side and say,
Say, I
"I'm
believe in Joe
Joe
Hendry.
Hendry, Joe Hendry, it's the wave." How can you
God,
look at that man and say this is the worst commentator in wrestling?
he's
You
not.
mean the
He's so
best
funny.
commentator in wrestling? There, fixed it.
Ah, 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 ah. Anyway, so at the number 4 position, which by the way is worn by Michael Dixon, punter of the reigning champion Seattle Seahawks.
I
Yeah, no, remember when they won the Super Bowl in the 49ers stadium? That was
don't.
fun.
I don't.
That was fun. Logan Paul comes out, and he's getting triple teamed as he should. Uh, you
Let me
know,
guess. He got dogged on by 3 black guys.
he got dogged on by 3 black guys, exactly. And then Logan hits a better looking buckshot lariat than Hangman Adam Page on Cody Rhodes, ironically enough.
I wouldn't say that.
You're asking me to be objective here about Logan Paul. So, yeah, LA Knight, number
Yeah, but I'm
5.
also honest. Yeah, no, I don't know about that. Continuing. LA Knight, LA Knight. Yeah, LA Knight was in this.
Very scary spot where he hits butt force trauma on Javon Evans on top of a pod. I'm like, how in the hell do you have room to do that?
Javon Evans did something cool in this match. It wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting an OG cutter off the fucking pod, and I think Evans could pull that off, but baby
Yeah,
steps. Instead, he does a frog splash off the pod, and Solid Monster brought up a really good point. A hell of a lot better than the one RVD did in 2002.
yeah.
When he drove his fucking knee into Triple H's throat.
Well, because he actually has fucking room to do crazy shit like that. Because
Oh
remember,
yeah,
RVD was like bent over at a 90-degree angle before he had to launch off for the 5-star frog splash
oh
in that
yeah, and
chamber
I
match.
agree for sure. It's just insane that his knee went right into Triple H's trachea.
And Triple H worked 30 minutes of the rest of the match with a busted trachea,
Yeah,
a crushed
insane.
windpipe.
The
Yeah.
evolution of the chamber.
So, no pun intended, right? Because speaking of evolution, in comes Randy Orton in the last spot. Nobody's been eliminated at this point. And then Logan Paul goes on a tear, right? He starts to eliminate people.
Okay,
I can't help but think, hold on, before you say anything, I can't help but think that this spot was totally intended for Bronson Reed
yeah, you
because
took the word right out of mouth. That's exactly
yeah,
what I was going to say.
this
Because
is
Logan Paul,
it's
say
fucking
what you want about
ridiculous.
him and compliment his wrestling skills. He is not the one to eliminate half the field.
No,
That's a tough spot right there. That
absolutely
remember
not.
when Braun Strowman did that shit in 2018 when he eliminated everybody except Roman Reigns? Remember
Yep.
when Shayna Baszler did that shit in 2020, eliminated everybody on her own? That's
Yeah.
a monster spot right there.
It's
Not a Logan
it's
Paul spot.
God, it sucks though because I hate that Bronson Reed has all this bad luck with injuries. They come at like it's never a good time to get injured, but Bronson Reed always seems to get hurt at the worst possible time because he shatters his ankle in the War Games match, misses Mania last year, tears his bicep in what looks like a pretty routine spot in that qualifying triple threat, and now
Like,
he's
wasn't he supposed to face Seth Rollins last year? Like at
at
Chamber?
Mania.
No, at the
At
Chamber.
Chamber.
No, in Perth, whatever that pay-per-view was in Perth.
That was an Elimination Chamber pay-per-view.
Yeah, was
Probably.
that 2024 though?
It was, yeah, Chamber 2024 on the
Yeah, I
road to
could have
Mania
swore I
40.
read a rumor that Bronson Reed was gonna fight Seth Rollins at that pay-per-view.
This was absolutely supposed to be Bronson Reed's spot because there's ain't
Yeah.
no way in hell it's believable that Logan Paul pins 3 people and eliminates
Isn't
them.
it crazy though when Bronson Reed is here, he's the fucking fall guy, and then when he's not here, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna make him an unstoppable monster in the chamber." Bronson Reed should be an unstoppable monster Period.
Well, probably better then, because if he hit a tsunami on Javon Evans, he probably would have squished him Hopper style, you know?
Oh yeah,
Javon
yeah.
Evans gets hit with actually a pretty good looking pulverizer. And I've had my stuff to say about that finishing maneuver, but the way Javon Evans took that, I thought it looked clean as hell.
Yeah,
You know,
crazy spot right there.
that boy
So
beat
Logan
that
Paul
boy beat
eliminates
bouncy.
Javon Evans.
Yeah.
And then okay, LA Knight. Oh, poor LA Knight. I'm not, you know me, I'm not the one to harp on botches, but this one was so obvious and it sucked. LA Knight does that kind of like that hop from the second rope to the top rope and then does an elbow drop. He slipped like a motherfucker. And then he
Yeah.
fucking ate an RKO. And then Logan shoved Orton off and Logan stole the pin. And
Well,
LA
no,
Knight
that
is
was
out.
Trick. That was Trick where that happened. So LA Knight was pinned by Logan via roll up, which is
Oh
even
yeah, you're right.
worse,
You're right. You're right.
honestly. But and then Randy Orton hits Trick with the RKO, and then Logan throws Randy Orton into the ring post, and Trick gets pinned by Logan Paul. When all of a sudden, after Logan eliminates half the field, one of the masked balaclava guys comes out. And he, super kicks Logan right in the gut, hits him with the curb stomp, of course, because all the masked guys have to hit them with the curb stomp, because you have to make them think it's Seth Rollins when it's not actually Seth Rollins, right? So this guy must not be Seth Rollins. Logan Paul is
He gets
then,
his mask ripped off, and it's a guy. And this happened on SmackDown too, mind you. It was revealed that both of these guys were students of Seth Rollins' wrestling school, which was a really nice detail.
yeah, yeah, they're all Black and Brave students. Yeah, absolutely. So Cody then hits Logan with the crossroads. Cody then eliminates Logan Paul, and then the masked guy, like, he looks very slim. He looks like he's a Seth Rollins build, but it's not going to be Seth Rollins. He takes the mask off very dramatically. Turns out it is Seth Rollins. He's back. He's cleared. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess.
Surprise of the fucking decade. It was Seth Rollins.
Hey,
I have to give
it this is
WWE credit here.
this is not the surprise of the century, though, as Michael Cole deemed it on commentary. I'm like, shut up, Michael Cole. I've seen bigger
So,
surprises than this.
okay,
Like,
I'm going to give WWE a little bit of credit here. Take it as ironic credit. This Vision storyline sucks balls because it has been plagued and riddled with injury.
oh, it
First, Seth
sucks.
Rollins gets injured, then Braun Breaker gets injured, then Bronson Reed gets injured, and now Seth Rollins is back for revenge. But who the fuck is he taking revenge even on at this point? Who knows if Seth Rollins was supposed to even come back at this time? It is insane the amount of tweaking WWE has had to do with this storyline ever since day one. I'm tired of it. I fucking hate the Vision. I never want to see the Vision again.
Well, it doesn't make sense for them to be even called the Vision anymore because Seth Rollins was like exiled from the stable.
Yeah, exile from the stable when I don't think he was intended to be in the first place. Like, this storyline
No.
has been a fucking joke from start to finish. I'm very happy to see the Seth Rollins back. I'm always happy to see Seth Rollins. But this story needs to end now. Like,
Promptly.
right fucking now. I will
Yeah.
say, though, it was really entertaining on Raw when Seth Rollins sent like 4 masked dudes to chase off the Vision. And then he showed up in the ring and he fucking blasts Paul Heyman in the back with a chair. And Paul Heyman sold it and took it like a fucking champ.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure did. Like, and he was, oh yeah, Tomas, I'm sure you love this. Seth Rollins hits Paul Heyman in the back with the chair,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
remember the shield?
yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
look, my tribal chief, it's the shield. Oh, like,
Holy shit, is that a motherfucking Shield reference?
yep, yep.
12 years. Let it die. Please. I'm begging
Until
you.
until WrestleMania pops up again, and then Austin Theory is being told by Paul Heyman, "Hey, look, it's the Shield." Hits Seth Rollins with the chair, and he hits Logan Paul instead in the tag team match, which I'm sure is happening. It's probably going to be Seth and LA Knight, ironically enough, against the Vision. So, like, I'd I'd
At this
I'd
point,
rather
that's the only direction to go.
I would rather that than Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul one-on-one again.
Yeah, we're not going to
Like,
run that back. It doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
But because, of course, WWE has to throw monkey wrenches into their own plans, you have to remember the Usos are also beefing with the Vision. So what the fuck is going on here? You have Seth Rollins the Usos, LA Knight, all beefing with the Vision. And you know what? If the Vision was at full force, if they had like 4 or 5 guys, there you go. Eight
Fuck
man
it.
tag in WrestleMania. But there's 2 members of the Vision and 4 motherfuckers going after them right now.
I don't know, dude.
Pick a
As
storyline and stick with it.
speaking of picking storylines, it's down to
Oh yeah.
Cody.
By the
It's
way, this whole time, this whole fucking sequence, the chamber door is wide open.
and
Shut
sure enough,
that door.
that leaves the opening literally for the WWE champion Drew McIntyre to run in because he does not want to wrestle Cody Rhodes. He hits him with the Claymore. No, he doesn't hit him with the Claymore, does he? So
I think he
Cody
hits him with the belt.
he hits him with the belt. But then Cody and Randy team up on Drew. Randy hits the RKO, and that leaves Cody to hit the Crossroads. But unlike Night of Champions last year, Randy Orton does not hesitate to hit the RKO on his former protege. Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber, and he is main eventing WrestleMania for only the second time, I think, in his career, only the third time. That's wild. That is wild to me.
While you give your thoughts about this match, I'm going to think back and
Yeah, no, it is the third time. So WrestleMania 25, he main evented against
yes,
Hunter. WrestleMania 30, he main evented
yes,
in that triple threat. I don't think he main evented in any other WrestleMania in his career.
yeah. I think this is going
I
to
think
be
that's it. That's
number
only
three
the
for
third
him.
time. Yeah, no. So with as tenured and as professional as Randy Orton is, he absolutely deserves this spot, and I'm happy to see him in this spot. But the question is, as far as SmackDown goes, apparently Cody Rhodes got a match for the WWE title against Drew McIntyre on free TV, and it's commercial free. So who's he gonna face? You know?
So in the post show for Elimination Chamber, Nick Aldis comes storming onto the press conference. He calls out Drew McIntyre and he says he's sick of this shit. He's tired of McIntyre costing Cody matches, wham, wham, wham. And he says you are forced to defend your WWE Championship against Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. After 3 stages of hell, McIntyre said he had a clause in his contract where Cody could not get a rematch.
After Cody loses in the Royal Rumble, he loses in the Elimination Chamber, but he's going to get a title shot anyway on SmackDown. And listen, before we get any deeper into this, I love Cody. Cody is my quarterback. I will tell you guys that much. I adore the guy. I was on his side. I told everybody he's the new people's champion in the build of WrestleMania 40. And, you know, the whole thing with The Rock. And he's saying, this right here is bullshit. And then at the Elimination Chamber last year, telling The Rock, go fuck yourself. That is awesome. Cody's a phenomenal babyface. But you know what? This might be the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people. I get it. But at the same time, we also had to. I don't know if I want to play devil's advocate yet. Should I bury the lead? Cody Rhodes beat Drew McIntyre.
Okay, I'm going to bring up a
couple
points first.
Yeah.
Remember at the Royal Rumble in 2011 when The
Yeah.
Miz eliminated John Cena because he didn't want to face him?
I sure do.
You know what? Miz fought Cena at Mania, but Cena had to win the chamber.
He sure did.
Remember when the Wyatt family cost Cena not once, but twice in the build to WrestleMania 30 for the WWE Championship?
Yep.
Cena did not get a championship match that year because
Right.
it didn't matter if he was cost, he lost.
Well, also,
So I want you.
Bray Wyatt was not the WWE champion heading into WrestleMania 30. So
Yeah, but still,
you know.
Cena still didn't get a title shot because he was screwed. So many people have been screwed. Remember when Roman Reigns was screwed out of the Universal Championship by Braun Strowman
Oh
at
yeah.
Royal Rumble 2017?
Oh yeah.
He didn't get a title shot after that. So I want you to think about it with this logic in mind. Cody Rhodes loses the WWE Championship to Drew McIntyre. McIntyre has a clause in his contract where Cody cannot get a rematch. Cody enters the Rumble. He gets eliminated from the Rumble.
By
Cody
Drew
enters the
McIntyre.
chamber. Yeah, Cody enters the chamber. He loses the chamber.
Because of Drew McIntyre.
For reasons, Cody is just given a WWE Championship match.
Because Drew like thinks he can keep ducking and diving. I'm not defending this. I'm just saying, Cody Rhodes was screwed by the champion,
I can
who
think
did
of
not want to face him.
700 million wrestlers who have been screwed out of title matches by champions. They didn't get title shots.
John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. Uh, you know,
So Cody is just given a championship match and he wins. And
he
now
wins the
Cody
title.
is facing the man who he lost to in the chamber, defending the title against the man he lost to in the chamber.
Yeah,
What
you're starting to see where the
the
problem is here.
fuck?
Starting to see where the problem is here.
You
Um,
went through the trouble of putting the WWE Championship on Drew McIntyre. Okay, if they were going to take it off of him at the Rumble, be an easier pill to swallow. You waited until after the chamber. I'll give you another example, and this was bullshit too. Remember 3 weeks before WrestleMania when Charlotte randomly got a SmackDown Women's Championship match against Asuka and beat her clean?
oh, I remember that. That was just to
Just
get
so the main event at 35 could be for both titles, and Asuka, poof,
just so
was
the main
nowhere to be seen.
just so Charlotte could be added into the main event.
Yeah. And
So,
Asuka, poof, wasn't even on the card that year.
you know,
It was bullshit then. This is bullshit now.
it is bullshit. I'm not saying it's not. Um, and it's really hard for me to defend it, you know? Um, and I'm hearing that part of the reason why they put Cody in this spot is because, again, TKO is fucking concerned about ticket sales. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton will not fucking fix your ticket sale problems. You know what'll fix your ticket sale problems? If you lower the fucking prices to where they were when Vince was in charge. That's what'll fix it. That's what'll fix it. Just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. And so I agree with you. I I like Cody Rhodes.
I love him.
Okay, I saw a really good comment. Okay, by the way, if you go to the full match, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre this past Friday on YouTube, it has almost 200,000 dislikes.
I wonder why. I
And
wonder
I
why.
saw a comment that just spoke volumes to me. It said, let me remind everybody that Cody finished his story 2 years ago.
Yep. Yep.
And okay, I understand it's not Cody's fault. I
It's not.
understand. I like Cody. I really do. Cody's, one of the biggest stars in the business now. It's just it's starting to get old. And you went out of your way to put the title on McIntyre. And if you were gonna do it, go through with it.
Well, Drew apparently, you could still have him walk into WrestleMania, but as the champion. But I'm hearing that he's taking some time off after WrestleMania to go shoot a movie. I think it's Highlander,
Well, you know what? He could
whatever
have
it's
dropped the
called.
title on Mania.
Definitely. No, I'm not saying that, that was an impossibility because of his movie shooting schedule, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like having it in a fatal four-way, it with McIntyre, Rhodes, Orton, and Jacob Fatu, because Jacob Fatu, don't let it be lost on you. Jacob Fatu is still a part of this carousel here.
Don't forget about Sami Zayn.
Don't forget
There's
about
way
Sami
too
Zayn
many
either.
players.
Yeah,
There's
I
too
know.
many cooks in the kitchen.
I know, yeah, and you know what? A lot of people were also arguing, hey, I wonder if there's a match type with 6 people that you could use to decide a championship at the biggest show of the year. And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, might as well just have a fucking Elimination Chamber match in the main event of WrestleMania. And I'm like, if it
I
if
want
it
to.
if it wasn't a yearly pay-per-view, I wouldn't be opposed. I honestly wouldn't be. Because you
I
remember you remember how crowded the world title scene was on Raw when the first Elimination Chamber match happened? And
Yeah,
remember
you
how
had
many
Booker,
people
RVD, Jericho, Michaels, Triple H.
remember how many people Triple H fucked over
Yeah,
in that build?
Booker, RVD, Kane.
Makes perfect sense to have one here with Drew McIntyre as the champion. Makes
I don't.
perfect sense.
I want to know
Because
whose bright fucking idea was to start this many intercrossing storylines with the WWE title this close to Mania. All the people you had described right now, That's a SummerSlam main event. That's a
Inside the chamber.
that I don't understand what triple. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words.
And
The
Armageddon.
chamber itself had blips of good ideas. It had blips of good spots. I thought the ending was very good. I can't go higher than a three.
On
This
this match, yeah, no, I mean, I'm
this
tempted to give it 2.5.
this match had little to no substance.
No, and there's no way that Logan Paul should be eliminating three people in this. Like
I
that bugs
remember
the
when
crap
the
out of me.
Elimination Chamber was described as a torture chamber. You know, what did Eric Bischoff say? 2 tons of steel
Yep, 10
with
miles of
10.
chain,
Yeah,
36 feet in diameter.
it was
You know?
supposed to be like, I know Hell in a Cell was Satan's structure, but if Satan's structure had a little brother, it'd be the Elimination Chamber.
Well, not even that. The 3-disc DVD compilation that they put out back in the day of every single Elimination Chamber match up to that point, it was actually called Satan's Prison. That was the
That
title, you know?
you have a match with that level of brutality attached to it, and this was not it. This
Triple
was
H,
absolutely not it.
he has grasped the concept of the Hell in a Cell match being the nuclear option to end the feud that is going on way too fucking long. I think he should start taking notes, and I think I said this like even like in the War Games podcast, like don't have a War Games match simply because it's right after Thanksgiving and it's that time of the year. So you got to fucking put together a War Games match. I think almost in the same vein. I understand that Elimination Chamber is. I understand you're defending this match side potentially being like the other option of getting into the main event of WrestleMania, but there's other ways to do that. You could do it in a tournament. You could do it, in a multitude of other different ways. Uh, have Elimination Chamber like actually be a domineering nuclear option, you know? Like have the mystique of the chamber match is gone. At least in my opinion. It doesn't feel as barbaric. It doesn't feel as scary of a match. Do you see how terrified people would be when they were making their entrances walking into the chamber of old?
Yeah,
That's
shaking
gone.
the walls.
That's gone now. You know?
It is. And I get it being a tool to get to WrestleMania. And I'm fine with that. Like, I've accepted that because this has been a tradition for like 10 years now, more than 10 years. I just didn't like the execution of this. It just really feels like WWE has all fucking year to plan for Mania.
Longer than
And
that.
they waited to the very last possible second and they
Dude,
introduced way too many elements.
longer than that though. Like this has been a tradition for like almost 20 years. First time they had a
Yeah,
double chamber show was 2008.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's, it, I don't know. I'm very anxious going into this year's Mania, and they're going to have a contract signing between Cody and Orton. You know, I mean, I could sit here and complain all night, but I'm just going to sit here and anxiously await what exactly is going to happen. I'm not saying that main event's going to get booed out of the building, but you
no.
might have more boos than cheers for Cody. Hey, we started seeing it last year
There is
when Mr. Heel John Cena was being cheered over Cody in that main event.
there is nothing interesting about Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton right now. Uh, like all due respect to those two guys, I know that they
It
can
feels
put on a
forced.
good match on a vacuum in a vacuum. Yeah, no, those two guys are pros. They can pull it off. But if you really want to spice things up, have one of those guys turn heel during the match. Like, I've been waiting so fucking long for Randy Orton to fucking turn heel on this guy. And like, hey, you want to get even crazier? Have Cody lean into this backlash. Have him turn heel. Have him actually, like, be what the final boss wanted him to be. Maybe, I mean, I'm just theorizing here. Maybe even have The Rock come out and help Cody retain the title.
These are
Really have a
all
shock ending.
really good ideas on paper, but I just don't trust WWE to do anything cool right now.
No, no,
Like we're
they're
past.
not going to justify those high ticket prices by doing something cool. They're going to do something probably very paint by the numbers. They're just going to go through the motions because they think they're cool now. Uh, I mean, they were cool a few years ago when Hunter was trying,
You
but he's not
know,
trying anymore.
I beg WWE to prove me wrong. I really do.
I
I
dare, I dare,
beg
I dare
them.
WWE to prove me wrong.
I would love to be sitting here, 6 weeks from now, saying, "Wow, WWE really pulled out the big guns, and this was like one of the best WrestleManias of all time." But last year's WrestleMania was lame as fuck.
The more and more we think about it, yeah, yeah. But as far as this Elimination Chamber pay-per-view goes, the more I sit here talking about it and thinking about it, I can't go
Six
higher
point
than
seven five out of 10.
yeah. That's where I was gonna go. That's where I was gonna go.
Decent show. I'd give it a C plus if there were a grade.
Yeah, yeah. Women's chamber match was far and away better than the men's chamber match, which was probably one of the more boring chamber matches I've seen in quite some time.
We had
Uh,
a decent women's intercontinental championship match. We had a very good world championship match. We had a wet fart of a debut for Danhausen, and we had one of the most underwhelming chambers of all time.
Give me more than four matches on WrestleMania, please. I'm not looking forward to WrestleMania on ESPN with commercials. Like, let me just clear that up. I'm sure like I'm actually gonna be visiting Tomas over that weekend. It's gonna be very fun.
Oh,
Uh
I'm going to guarantee you right now we're not watching WrestleMania on fucking ESPN. I have the Disney Plus package. I have my WWE pay-per-views covered.
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, we are on the road to WrestleMania, and you know what? I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I am doing all my usual WrestleMania festivities. I'm getting ready. I have traditions going. I want to celebrate pro wrestling that weekend, and I can only just ask WWE to please deliver. Deliver
And
with this mania.
please help us celebrate. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But guys, hit that subscribe button if you like all things pro wrestling. If you like this discussion, leave a thumbs up as well. If you haven't, tap that thumbs up button as many times as Tom the Lizard was tapping the emoji in that teaser trailer. But yeah, WrestleMania 42 is coming up. We will be talking about that. AEW Revolution is on Sunday next week, actually. I will be in attendance for Dynamite on Wednesday, which
Hell
I'm very much
yeah.
looking forward to. I might vlog about that.
Oh, this
Uh,
coming Wednesday?
this coming Wednesday, it's at San
Hell
Jose
yeah.
Civic. Yeah, so
You are going to have a lot of fun.
oh yeah,
I was
no.
at that Sacramento show. I saw Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland for the first time, and it was fucking amazing in person.
There you go. There you go. And I got, we got other 2006 retros to get into, apparently. We haven't forgotten about those. Totally haven't forgotten about those. We'll get
No.
back to them,
Mm-mm,
but,
mm-mm.
and we have some ideas potentially about, like, I was floating around the idea of possibly doing the Invasion storyline in those pay-per-views because the Invasion angle turns 25 years old in 2026. It
Who
might be
fucking cares about the invasion angle?
I've been wanting to talk about those shows. I don't know about you, but
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
yeah. But hey, thank you guys so much again for tuning in. Commence that back talk and talk to you guys soon.